And so, for now, we come to the end of another Scooby Doo binge. We have here Scooby Doo and Krypto 2. I believe this is the latest Scooby Doo movie that has come out of recent years, to my recollection. This movie, I don't know too much about the background history of it, but given what Warner's has been doing of late with a lot of its legacy IPs, I wonder if this almost was scrapped as a tax write-off or something. But at the last moment, it was able to be saved and released to the public, and I'm happy that it was saved and released to the public, rather than scrapped, never to be seen again. Because Scooby-Doo deserves to continue to be shown to the world. And the bonus features on this show 3 episodes from one of the newer Scooby-Doo TV series that I have never seen yet. And that is Scooby-Doo and Guess Who. Scooby-Doo and Guess Who is a shorter version of the new Scooby-Doo movies. The new Scooby-Doo movies were hour-long episodes with a guest star. It could either be Batman and Robin at some point, or it could be a live action, a real life celebrity like Don Knotts, Celebrity Don Knotts. It could be the Harlem Globetrotters. It could be a crossover with another property like Josie and the Pussycats. I actually saw that one, and that was a very funny one. I really enjoyed that one. I think they also did Jabberjaw. That was fantastic. I loved Jabberjaw. Really, seriously, Hanna-Barbera, you need to come out and release these things. Jabberjaw, Speed Buggy, Josie the Pussycats. Release that in a 3-in-1 mega collection. The complete series of all 3 of them. Because those are the top 3 that I really remembered as a kid. I loved them, all 3 of them. They were fantastic and funny, and yes, they were very derivative and very similar to Scooby-Doo, but I don't care. I loved them. The Jabberjaw acts like Curly from the Three Stooges. That was very funny. Speed Buggy, fantastic. Little speaking in, hey buddy. I love that. I love that. I love that. Everything about the other older Hanna-Barbera cartoons were very good. And why I bring that up is because there are 3 episodes of Scooby-Doo and the Guess Who, which is a 2-season run, which is very regrettable because that's these episodes are fantastic. The Guess Who, Scooby-Doo and the Guess Who is fantastic. Holy crap, the jokes, the comedy. It's like a mixture of current day pop culture and pop culture figures with classic Where Are You era jokes and slapstick, and it was very, very funny. There's an episode on here where they meet the Flash shows up. It's called 1 Minute Mysteries. It's a very funny one. And about halfway through the episode, they tell the Flash they have to run at the speed that the Mystery Gang runs at, otherwise he can't hang out with them. So the Flash agrees to slow down to let the Mystery Gang solve their mystery at their own pace. And one of the jokes is they're hiding from the Creeper. And yes, that little mystery, that one of the reasons why I love this episode is all of the classic Where Are You era monsters show up for this one. That's very, very, very fun. And the Creepers for this one, and Shaggy and Scooby and Flash are hiding from the Creeper. And so Shaggy hands the key to the door that he just locked to Scooby. It says, go throw the key out the window. So Scooby throws the key out the window. And then the Creeper just shows up behind them, and the Flash goes like, how does that always happen? The Flash just mentions that, and then Shaggy tells Scooby, Scooby, go get the key. So Scooby jumps out the window and comes in through the door that they just locked. He just comes into the door, closes it, hands the key to Shaggy, and then Shaggy unlocks the door that Scooby just walked in through. I loved that! I love those types of jokes. It brings back a 60-year-old era that I definitely wasn't alive for, clearly. I'm not a 60s child, but I really appreciate that type of comedy. It's some of my favorite things. And I loved every second of these episodes of the Guess Who. I really wish that they would release a complete set of the Guess Who. Now that the Guess Who is completed, they really, really need to release Scooby Doo and Guess Who. That is such a great idea. I'm surprised that it was only they only ever received 2 seasons. It should have received like 4, 6. It could have gone on forever. That is an infinite idea. The amount of pop culture you could throw into each episode and crossovers with other Hanna-Barbera properties. You can have Captain Caveman show up in one episode. You can have Space Ghost or Birdman or the Herculoids, man. You can have the Wonder Twins. You know the Wonder Twins? You remember the Wonder Twins? You don't remember the Wonder Twins. The Wonder Twins were from the Super Friends. And that was an Alex Toth fronted Hanna-Barbera cartoon that crossed over with DC Comics. Alex Toth worked on DC Comics, and so when he went to work for Hanna-Barbera, they secured a license to use a couple of the DC superheroes like Batman and Robin, Superman, Aquaman, and Wonder Woman, especially those 5. I think others showed up here and there, but it was mainly those 5. And so they created a couple of superheroes to fill in the roster, and some of them were the Wonder Twins, which were basically 2 twins that could change their shape. The sister could change her shape into various animals, which is very helpful, and the brother can change his shape into various non-living objects. So sometimes the female twin would transform into a hawk, and the brother would transform into a pail of water. I love it. You could definitely do an episode of that. Just come on, bring it back, bring them all back. That would be so fun. That would be such a great time. It would be and I'm probably a minority, the minorityest of minorities here with my love for classic Hanna-Barbera properties, but that would be awesome. And this idea of the Guess Who, that I'm finally getting to watch a couple of the episodes because I actually never saw this series. I've known about it, but I've never seen it yet. Because, you know me, I like my... But this was very good. There are 3 episodes in here, 1 with Wonder Woman, 1 with Batman, and 1 with The Flash. The Flash is the best one of the 3, followed by Batman. The one with Batman has Kevin Conroy return voicing Batman, and Mark Hamill returning voicing the Joker. I was very surprised to see that, because this came out after the Killing Joke movie, and I thought that Mark Hamill said he was retiring after the Joker if Kevin Conroy was also retiring, but I guess Kevin Conroy agreed to come in to voice Batman for this episode, so Mark Hamill said, yeah, I'll come back if Kevin's coming back, and I guess that's what happened, but... Either way, I thought Mark Hamill had retired the Joker, but I guess I was wrong. I'm happy to be wrong. I know he comes back for the Crisis on Infinite Earths special, but that was also Kevin Conroy's last appearance, so of course Mark would have come back to do that with him. But I was surprised he came back at all just to do it for this, but then again, it's Scooby Doo. Mark was probably young when this show was coming out in the 60s. He definitely caught this on TV when he was a teenager, a kid, or whatever. So, yeah, man. Of course. What else? The movie itself, let's actually talk about the movie and not talk about just the Guess Who, but the movie itself is also very fun. It's a very fun time, and it's mostly in the Hall of Justice. It's right here, the Hall of Justice. And if you've played Lego Batman 3, which features the Hall of Justice, it features a lot of jokes about DC cartoons and old classic comic characters and comic shticks and tropes. It was very self-aware, and I really appreciated that game. Lego Batman 3 is fantastic with its roster. The only thing I didn't like about Batman 3 was that they didn't let you go and explore Gotham City. Even Marvel Avengers let you explore New York City, or whatever that city was. They let you explore it. In Marvel Superheroes, the first one, you could explore the city. In Marvel Avengers, you could explore the city. I think you should have let us explore Gotham in Batman 3. On top of the Lantern Worlds, on top of the Hall of Justice, on top of the Batcave, on top of the Justice League Space Station, you gotta give us Gotham. It would have been fantastic. It would have been the best of the 3 if you did that, but it is what it is. But either way, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because the writing for these characters, the jokes for these characters, and the superhero shticks kind of feel like they're on the same page here. I don't want to do too much delving and researching and looking up who the writers were for this movie and compare to see if there were any of the same writers working on Lego Batman 3 at the time, but either way, the feel, the aura of it felt the same to me, and I could really appreciate that because I really enjoyed Lego Batman 3. And the shtick with the Hall of Justice and all the jokes, that was very fun. Lex Luthor is in here, and he's voiced by the same guy. I keep forgetting his name. But it's the dude who voices Lex Luthor in Superman the Animated Series. He's been voicing Lex for forever now. He comes back to continue to voice Lex in this movie, and he's fantastic. He is hilarious in this movie, and I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed seeing Krypto and Scooby Doo teaming up. I am old enough to remember after the death of Toonami Weekdays of Cartoon Network, before a long time ago in the ye old era, in the late 90s and early 2000s, we had the brilliant time period where Toonami was a weekday affair, where we got to see Toonami every day, Monday to Friday. We got to see it instead of just Saturday nights or Friday nights. It was every weekday. That was fantastic. I loved it. It was a great time period, a great period to be a Dragon Ball fan. But after Toonami Weekdays died, there was a show that replaced it called Magoozy. And around this time period, Justice League was coming out, and the Justice League Unlimited was coming out. And there was a new TV show that was also coming out with starring Krypto, the Super Dog. It was a TV show all about Krypto, the Super Dog. And they had Krypto talk, like complete normal talking in it, and I hated it. I was not a big fan of that one. I was not. But in this movie, Krypto does not talk! That was fantastic. I love that idea. If Krypto not talking, good. Scooby-Doo can barely talk, and I liked that. And they're teaming up, their friendship, it was so good. It reminded me of Scooby-Doo beating Courage the Cowardly Dog in Straight Outta Nowhere, which is also a fantastic movie. Fantastic movie. Probably one of my favorites. And their friendship in this one is also very good. Very, very good. There's Grundy in the background there. You can see him there, and Grundy shows up quite a few times. He's chasing after the gang, and the joke is that he just wants to pet the dogs. Okay, so if you don't know Grundy, in the Lego game, Lego Batman 3, Grundy is a parody of himself, and he's very nice. He's supposed to be a villain, but he's also a very nice guy. And that's technically the shtick that we have here, is that Grundy is a monster. He's chasing everybody, he's breaking everything, but he's also just here to pet the dogs, and that's... I love that. That was fantastic. There's just so much great things to go on with this movie. The Justice League has disappeared. The Hall of Justice has been abandoned, and Krypto is the only person there to keep the building safe, and he's looking for Superman. He's looking all over the place. And so Lois Lane has Jimmy Olsen contact the Mystery Gang to come in and look for the Justice League. And Lois would be like, oh, I'd do it, but, everybody's blowing up the city right now. And that's headline material. We're very busy here writing headlines about which building just got destroyed. We have no time to search for the Justice League. You guys got to do it. And so they go to do that, and it's fantastic. It's a fantastic time. They go into the Hall of Justice, and the Hall of Justice gets under lockdown, and they get locked into the building with Lex Luthor, which is fantastic. A lot of the jokes with Lex Luthor land perfectly for me, and there's a scene with Velma and Lex Luthor. If Velma's trying to hack into the mainframe, and Lex says, I've been trying to do that for years. It's not possible. And Velma just immediately does it, and Lex is just mouth agape. I love that. Oh man, there's just so much to love about Scooby-Doo and Krypto 2. I could talk about it for a lot longer, but I don't really feel like that would be necessary. I feel like you would get the idea of where I'm coming from if you watched this. I really want you to see this movie. This movie is fantastic. fantastic. I really hope Hanna-Barbera and Warner Brothers Animation continue to make more Scooby-Doo movies. They need to make more of these. They cannot just shutter these and let them die. It's been a couple years, but that's fine. You can come back and make another one. You can do it, Warners. You could do it. I believe in you. Do not let this property die.